There's no way to grow organic traffic without Google. You knew that they had great food, great service, but then you pull up the review and you're like, why isn't this as busy? We're able to take specific insights that relate to the business, use AI to help formulate that, so a person doesn't have to sit there and like think too hard as far as like, what am I gonna rate? For every 1 point rating that you lose on Google ratings, you're losing about $9,000 a year.
How was your experience being on the Phase Knowledge podcast?
It was great. I mean, I was able to share organically and authentically with how I run it, and it just was great. I loved the experience. I'd love to do it again if there's another opportunity.
Welcome to the Phase Knowledge podcast. I appreciate your patience. I just have one question for you. Why the Ethereum group?
Well, okay. Well, it's all about ReviewPro. ReviewPro, our product that is here to help small businesses automate their Google reputation management.
Okay, so myreviewpro sound like that it had a lot of time to be developed and understood for you to come out to present it and talk about it. You had to have some failure in there. So what was your biggest failure?
I would say biggest failure was putting the right things together for the small business, understanding the business for what their needs are. And right now, like, we figured it out. It's like, there's no way to grow organic traffic without Google. And how do people grow organic traffic? They blast market things. Well, we figured out the solution by helping them get reviews faster and getting them up and climbing their Google rankings, becoming searchable really easily.
Okay, so how did you learn how to do it for yourself and say, hey, I can do this for other people? I just did it for myself. I just learned how to do it. I have a system, a process behind it. So how do you learn how to do that and help others through the process of going through that process?
So we're basically an AI company, and started this about a couple of years ago. We got to the point where we were going to small businesses that like, we knew that they had great food, great service, but then you pull up the review and you're like, why isn't this as busy? Well, they had a 3.7, a 3.8, low scores, low ratings because one person gave them a bad review. They had maybe 20 reviews. So we knew it was good, but their business was declining. So that moment I was like, wait a second, like, let's help this small business out. Right. And we were able to like help that business gain organic, great reviews. Just, have you ever had to leave a review at a place?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you're placing that review, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What do I write? How do I write it? How long is it going to take me? Yeah, it may only take 1 to 3 minutes, but we were able to take specific insights that related to the business, use AI to help formulate that, so a person doesn't have to sit there and like think too hard as far as like, what am I going to write? It spits out exactly what they're thinking based off of the insights. And now the review is generated in under 20 seconds. Post it on the Google page. And what we also do, instead of having a VA overseas help reply to reviews, we utilize our AI to understand the business owner and help them reply for them on Google for them too. So with that combination, it helps them stay on top of their business, and it allows them to climb the rankings and grow to being one of the best searchable businesses in the area. Our most recent use case, we did a nail salon in the heart of Tampa. They were on like the 3rd or 4th searched page, and within 9 days, they were ranked number 3 on our system. So they were like 27, and then within 9 days, they were ranked number 3.
So not only did you introduce a social proof to what you do and how you go about helping small business owners have more Google reviews or be found through Google, you actually understand the process of what it takes to get to number 3. And a lot of people are not patient. A lot of people see your success today. Like your success, Gerard, is success today. But a lot of people don't see your journey. And a lot of people don't see the heartaches, the headaches, the confusion moments when you start to figure out, what am I actually doing? And give you an example. When I started a podcast a half a decade ago, I started because I want to help others become the best version of themselves. Yeah. Not that that's bad, but how do you have a business around that? Well, at the time, I'm like, well, it's not a business. I'm just doing it for fun. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy making a difference. I enjoy making an impact. But as I get older and start to learn more about the business language, the business communication, and how you go about conducting business, wait, the podcast can be a business? Wait, this whole time I've been making an impact. Wait, there's a difference that I'm making that a lot of people don't see. Your struggle is here today, but your experience speaks more than your struggle. Why isn't it important to go through it and not read it through a book?
Say that one more time.
Why isn't it important to go through the experience and not read it from a book?
So without like failing at something, there's real no success, right? Like I'll never know what it takes to get to ultimate success. Like I had to learn each failure. And the biggest struggle that I saw, like being an AI, a lot of people don't realize this. When you hear AI, like, oh, chat GPT, I'm doing AI. What's happening now is you see inflation, you see rising costs of goods. So how does a small business succeed? How do they survive? They have to implement technology at some point, right? And if they don't implement it correctly, they're steadily on a decline. And we see that because all it takes is one person who had a bad experience or had a bad day that can drop your business like that. I don't know if you know this, but for every 1 point rating that you lose on Google ratings, you're losing about $9,000 a year. There's statistics. We have calculators that we can like extrapolate that data. So if you're steadily declining, you just don't know, and you don't know what it takes. And I felt that failure for these businesses. And that's why it's like, without these small businesses, what's going to happen? You're going to have large conglomerates that run everything. And now you've got like all these people that are closing their doors because they didn't realize. So for us, and what we built is we gave a chance to the underdogs. We gave these small businesses that need to be found, that need to have that service and that food and that flavor or that clothing line, whatever it is that they decided they wanted to put all their money into. We gave them a fighting chance, and we leveraged technology to help them, not just the big guys.
Wow, man, that's powerful. So we're at the Tampa Business Expo. What is your biggest takeaway from it so far?
Biggest takeaway from this so far is a lot of the small businesses that are here, and they're trying to put themselves out there. And we found, just asking them, it's like, we asked a simple question: how important is your Google reputation? They were just like, oh my gosh, it's important. I can't get new reviews. Great. Here's how it's done. And once you have enough reviews and you're found, you're going to get more organic reviews. And now that means when someone's searching you, you're going to get found. And that was huge because there's no solution for that. A lot of these businesses, this is how they have to get out there to get themselves known to people who aren't. We have another alternative. So that was a big takeaway for us, is that there's a lot more businesses like this. It's just getting in front of them. And, thank you. I'm grateful for you being able to have me here on your podcast, because at some point someone's going to see this and they're going to understand like there's other ways to let their business not just survive, but thrive.
Man. And you're speaking from experience and you see the impact that you're getting. Rob spoke about the results. People care about the results. Well, he just added the last R. Nonetheless, last question. How was your experience being on the Phase Knowledge podcast?
It was great. I mean, I felt I was able to share organically and authentically with how I run it. And it just was great. I loved the experience. I'd love to do it again if there's another opportunity.
Absolutely. Gerard, I appreciate the time. How can people learn more about the Ethereum group and the I forgot it. myreviewpro. Yep.
That's myreviewpro.ai. That's our product's website, and that'll be a great place to you can actually put your company in there as long as you have a Google business profile, and it'll show you a demo exactly how it's done. And we'll even give you a pre-marketing audit report to see how you show up online to really help you gain that traction. So go ahead and check it out.
That's powerful. Gerard, I appreciate it, man. Thanks again for coming on to the Phase Knowledge podcast.